Yes, that's an easy one. When primary school, back in Zimbabwe, I come from a high density area. Previously, cricket was only for those elite schools and those elite sort of neighborhoods and elite areas, but it was part of a Zimbabwe cricket development program where they deliberately took coaches out into the high density area where the sport wasn't previously, and then when they did that, they sent some coaches to introduce the game to different schools. I was one of those schools that was picked, and it also so happened that in my year group with 5 classes, my class was was the class that was chosen. So in short, I became a cricketer through a Zimbabwe cricket development program where they sent some coaches out to the high density areas to introduce the game. When they introduced the game to me, I liked it straight away. The first day it was introduced, the coach said, if you want, it was during a PE lesson, a physical education, during the school time, and they said, those of you who like the sport, you can come back after school and practice in the afternoon. I was one of those that came back straight away. So from being introduced to the game, I fell in love with it straight away. That's an easy question. I became a Liverpool fan through my father, but he's since sold us out and he started supporting Arsenal. But I started supporting Liverpool because of him, because back in the days he was a Liverpool fan, and I remember watching the early Liverpool teams with players like Peter Beardsley, John Barnes, Ian Rush, and I fell in love with the team straight away, and I just never looked back since. So I became a Liverpool fan through my dad, and I've just been a Liverpool fan for life. I've even had a visit to Anfield, which is again one of the big highlights that I have. Obviously, I was still very young when I started, so my fondest memory of that game was the very basic fact that I was playing with and against some of my heroes, because a lot of the guys that were still in the changing room, we grew up idolizing them. They were the ones that were representing Zimbabwe, guys like Andrew Flower, Henry Olonga, Alistair Campbell, Grant Flower. Those are the guys that we grew up watching, and then obviously on the West Indies side as well, we were very much exposed to West Indies cricket, and we grew up watching guys like Carl Hooper. Chris Gale was still starting, guys like Colin Stewart as well, who were the other changing rooms. So for me, my fondest memory was I was in an international changing room and I was playing with and against some of my personal heroes. So it was a really good experience, and I didn't really feel too much pressure because I was just really excited to be there and to be sharing a changing room with some of my heroes, and also to be playing against some of my heroes. Craziest fan encounter. A few come to mind, but I think one of the best ones that I had was we were playing in Hamilton in New Zealand. So obviously also being called Hamilton, one of the fans just came up with you know how they have usually they have all this regalia, all this stuff that commemorates the city where you are, and maybe it's got stuff on it like if you're in Mumbai, there's always stuff from the curio gift shops that is I love Mumbai on it, that is stuff to do with the actual city where you're in. So when I was in Hamilton, a guy just randomly came up to me with a whole bag of stuff, and he just said, because you're in Hamilton, I got you a whole lot of stuff with the name Hamilton on it. So yeah, that was one of the craziest things. Oh, it really changed me because there are obviously a lot of lessons that you learn from the beautiful game. First and foremost, it is a team game. So one of the things that I learned straight away was how to be a team player, to function well in a team, to basically be able to give yourself to a team and to do what the team requires. That was one of the first lessons from cricket. But then the second one is the relationships. I mean, growing up, It was always one of those things that you made very good personal friendships with the people that you played with, some that you played against. Even now it's continuing, playing with and against some of the people that I played in opposition teams with growing up. Just those relationships have really been great. Starting to learn more about some of those guys that are sharing the same changing room. And overall, obviously, cricket has been my life. I started when I was primary school, which is probably around 10 and 11, and I've never stopped, and it's basically been my career throughout my life. Obviously as an international professional cricketer, and then I went straight into administration after I finished playing, and so basically that's been my one and only career and the only thing that I've made a living from. So I would basically say cricket has really changed my life, and it has been a part of my life since primary school. For more such content, follow the Southern Superstars.